Hello and thanks for staying with us. Welcome to Political Platform on Raypower FM. My name is Amici, and now we have multiple stories, and we'll try as much as possible to share these stories with you and the accompanying analysis. I'm joined by my colleagues here, Adeba Bodori and Teve Tiaf. The fate of Nigerians in diaspora, in South Africa, in Ghana, they are saying go home. In South Africa, it's xenophobic attacks, and they're saying all other African migrants go home. United Arab Emirates, UAE, has exited from Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. There are huge implications for global geopolitics, global international economic relations, and Nigeria's economy. We'll talk about the letter ADC has written to the Chief Justice of Nigeria saying, why are you wasting time? Why is the Supreme Court wasting time with delivering of judgment in the matter before it? And firms are being picked for those in authority. Associates of the president from Lagos have paid 100 million for him for nomination form. In Kano, a teacher has contributed 30,000 for the nomination. I think 50 million for the governorship for Governor Abba Yusuf. But let's start from South Africa, where xenophobic attacks have continued unabated.
Yeah, thank you, Amici, and good morning to TV. Good morning also to our listeners and viewers on YouTube. You know, it bothers me when I look at what is happening to Nigerians in South Africa. And even when you look at Ghana, I'll talk briefly about Ghana later, but South Africa is a country that should be grateful to Nigeria.
It's gone beyond gratitude now.
And no, yes, it is. But it's part of the defective nature of our foreign policy. America will not invest kobo in any country if it is not reaping fruits. Even students in the 70s were contributing money to the ANC fund.
Okay.
And you see,
they don't know about this. They don't know about this history.
Those
that are spearheading this, African migrants must go.
Because we are not saying we should impose policy on South Africa. If we think of our own interests and attach it to whatever thing we are doing in any country, the people of Sierra Leone will have been praising Nigeria today. The people of Liberia will have been praising Nigeria. Several Nigerians paid supreme sacrifice in Liberia.
So in Ghana, they're also asking Nigerians to go. And Ghanaians in South Africa are also being beaten up by these xenophobic groups.
So and what bothers, if you look at it on a continental basis, it's an indication of the fact that despite the transformation of OEU to AU and the promises when that decision was taken, the greater concept of African unity, which was spearheaded by the nationalists, which was spearheaded by our founding fathers in all the countries in Africa, He's dying. He's dying.
Okay, tell it here.
And he raises an issue. Is the AUC relevant?
Good morning.
Relevance of ECOWAS, AU.
The Balogun was talking about the 70s contribution of money. I remember that even as late as the 90s, 1990 to be precise, because I remember we told our parents we contributed money. They said it was South Africa, end of apartheid, and all of that. We contributed money. 1990, I remember clearly. So
you contributed your own?
Yes, I did.
Part of your student allowance?
Yeah, we did. I can't remember the exact amount, but we did, at the time. We may look at, the truth of the matter is we may look at it in the way and manner where Nigeria did this. What of other countries that most probably, even Ghana, supported South Africa, Kwame Nkrumah, and all of that. But in fact, this recent round of xenophobia has started with Ghanaians, before eventually Africans, Nigerians and other Africans, unlike the others that to start with Nigerians, and all of that. Some of us are looking at
2 Nigerians were killed, was it 2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 Nigerians. In fact, in the recent round, 2 Nigerians, interestingly, they were killed by security officials, not even the xenophobic groups that we're talking about. Some of us look at it broader than just this whether we supported them or we didn't support them. We're looking at the pushback of globalization. You may look at it in African context in the way you are looking at it, but it's not different from what Donald Trump is doing with picking up so-called illegal immigrants. It's not different from
hauling them out.
It's not different from what the right wing in UK, in Spain, in France, and all of that are talking about immigrants. Let's stop them from coming. And things like that. That is a pushback. There they are looking at maybe some of these immigrants are becoming a nuisance in terms of crime, terrorism, and all of that. But in South Africa, in Ghana, and these other Africans, when you listen to some of the interviews, those xenophobic people they'll tell you they are taking away our jobs.
And our women too.
Our women. They are taking away, and all of that. And that is the globalization we're talking about, because the globalization gave an opportunity for everybody. You can migrate, you can, labor, business, and all of
global
that.
Village.
That concept of global is being pushed back. That is the way in which this is. But other countries, what are we seeing? They are now putting ban on social media for 16 years. And so it's coming in different forms. So we must look at it in a bigger perspective than what we are looking at. And what does that portend for us? For each country, you need to take a look at a backseat study the trend in which globalization is going to push back now, and what do you do? Because more of your people will be pushed back.
Yes.
More of your people, so what do you do? It means and globalization had promised, because we look on social media and all of that, we see how beautiful their streets are, and all. So that's what people are looking at, and all of that. So it means you have to do those things, change realities on your own country, so that people.
Before, when there are elections in US, UK, Germany, there are issues that dominate discourse.
Yes.
But today, it's immigration.
Completely.
It's immigration that is a major issue.
Yes.
That's why Kemi Bednock is pushing back on immigration. A Nigerian, a born Nigerian and other. So if there are elections to come in this year, next year, and next 2 years, the major critical factor will be immigration. So it aligns with your postulation that perhaps globalization has gotten to its peak.
Yes.
It's a revolving door. Unilateralism, when everybody was going on his own, at some point got to its peak. They say we have to align the Eastern Bloc, NATO, Warsaw Pact. They align beyond the regional groupings. EU came up, SADC, South African Development Corporation, Latin American, ECOWAS, AU, and Balogun was rightly talking about the relevance of this regional. They are going down. We are going back to nationalism. Countries are trying to do it all alone. And it's just a matter of time. Yes. It's just a matter of time before they realize that the problem is not autarky, what we call autarky in international relations. You do it all alone, all by yourself. After some time, you discover that
will evolve.
It will evolve and all that. But back home in Nigeria, we also seen it.
Yes.
Let's not pretend.
Yes, sure.
There are some places they'll tell you don't belong here. And before it just during the last Jerry election that we started hearing, oh, this, that. So yeah, so it's not just happening internationally, it's also happening locally. And if you don't put a handle on this, you're like a train on a fast speed heading towards a rock. There'll be an implosion. So the takeaway is that you're not wanted in any part of the world now. Those that are doing Japan, those that are running away, thinking that some other person will solve the problem at home, you're going to meet bigger problem, and your life is at stake. Remember that Nigerian that was running in, was it Bahrain, when Iran was sending a missile across? He was running from AK-47 bullets in Nigeria. He got to Bahrain, he's a missile. You can dodge, you can survive bullet, but you can't survive those missiles.
But I think there's also something that we should do in Nigeria. Those in positions of authority should start thinking, maybe Nigerians will be saved from this embarrassment in the country they are running to if the situation at home is better.
Yes,
if
that's what we're saying.
You know, after Obasanjo left office, I keep on asking, what did he do when he was in office? We keep on talking that we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder about unemployment situation, that we are not addressing it. Yes, he came up with Keke Napep. Did that Keke Napep policy, did this solve problem of poverty and unemployment? No. So it means at home, there's need for critical examination of our developmental policy
to make it productive,
and allow Nigerians to stay at home. Yesterday, I was I went somewhere yesterday and I ran into somebody I thought I've never even met in my life. But he started talking to me that he knew me when I was a reporter in Kaduna. And we discussed so extensively that we were now looking at Kaduna, where I was in the 80s as a reporter.
Kaduna.
Okay. I was posted from Kano to Kaduna to supervise the impeachment of Balarabe Musa, and then I was asked to stay there as regional editor. So you see, he was talking. Look at the industries, the textile industries in Kaduna. The chain of
I was with Oshemal over the weekend at the conference in Lagos,
and they are gone.
And he was saying, when he was a labor, when he was a worker in the textile factory, Kaduna alone was employing more than 250,000 people.
Yes,
today, and we are tying it to what EFCC chairman has said, that from the study they did, 6 out of every 10 students are going to Yahoo. And I asked, why? Perhaps the study did how many? We'll have to do another study. What forces them to do it? Good. No job. Will you give him skills? He's computer literate. He has access to... It's just those that don't go to school, that are in the hinterlands. They either join terrorist groups or armed groups. So when you're of age, you're ready to work and it's not ready available. Self-survival demands that you do something. So that's why I'm not surprised. And if we continue to pretend, those in authority continue to loot our country and begin to alone, they know what the implication is. That one day, eat your life.
Nigeria, US, the third most populous country in the world. Nobody is talking about
jobs. Nobody is talking about jobs.
At the implication of that
healthcare, education facilities to cater for them.
Those people saying they are buying for doing election and all. To me, this
is their turn. It's turn by turn. You go and enjoy and loot.
The issues that Nigerians should engage in the campaigns. What is
as a matter of national security,
national survival,
national security?
You know, it's a major issue that in 2030, 2031, what are we looking at? You are roads 1,000 kilometers, building from sea, this and all that. What are the economic implications of those things? That we're looking at. I know telling anybody. That's why the journalists in economic
in terms of numbers,
he just
and he has a reason to be in government. He's in the house, not a government. You are able to the public. You are public funds.
Exactly. Even when you are doing the flyover, and all of that. What are the economic implications? We must put that in mind and look and be futuristic. Abuja, from the creation, how many did they say will be here? How many people are here?
1 million.
How many will be here in 31? 7 and 8. So those are the things we should be thinking about, and that the economic team at not the federal level, at this every state, every local government, everybody family units, you should be able to look at if you're the land, the ancestral lands that you had in the and all of that. If how many were you? Family, now how many children will be great grandchildren? All of the multiply effect will everybody have access to what? Everybody should.
But you see, what bothers me is people elected into office seem to enjoy power.
They don't understand why they're there.
You just
except a few.
You just mentioned SOT. Les was an outstanding labor activist in his student days. I can say that one for sure.
Like some of us.
He was an outstanding. And what the student unions then were advocating for, because it was military regime. At the turn of when they are preparing budget, so if you see an SOT to the governor and you are there asking and if he's because enjoying power, they are not addressing
entitlements. There's a sense of entitlement.
They are not addressing what brought them to power. They are not looking into show. Look at what Nigeria need to. You see, you go around Abuja in those early days of Abuja development. All those bricklayers, carpenters, and all the rest, they are easily absorbed. These days, they gather in one place
from morning till night.
Okay,
issues that you should address, because when the civil war ended, some military men were demobilized. Armed robbery in Nigeria.
That's the peak.
As well as contempt of court. The DSS should beam their searchlight on those actors before motorists will put laws into their hands. And from Abuja here, Comrade Bonde Ame is saying, I wish to use this medium to condemn in strong terms the ongoing renewed xenophobic attack on Nigerians and other foreign nationals in South Africa following protests in East London, Cape Town, Durban, and KwaZulu-Natal, which turned violent, leading to massive looting of businesses, destruction of property, and inflicting injuries on innocent people. President Cyril Ramaphosa must, as a matter of urgency, call his citizens involved in this attitude that threatens the peace and unity of Africa to order by arresting and prosecuting the elements working in cahoots with some South African security agents. Should the xenophobic attacks escalate, I call on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, working in synergy with our consulates in Johannesburg, to begin immediate evacuation of Nigerians. Depends about the integrity of the press. This critical moment, the Justice of Nigeria recognized. That public attention sharing, their responsibility to act decisively and uphold the credibility of the institution, no matter the direction the judgment might take. Ultimately, this situation reflects broader concerns about the state of Nigeria's democracy, which many believe is under serious threat. And from Lagos State, Ugochukwu Godwin is saying, the implosion that awaits APC before and after the primaries will be massive. Instead of a level playing field, they have mostly resorted to consensus, where one man appoints his successor, and until the governor decides, even the Senate and House of Reps seats are not open for other party members. This is not democracy, but civil rule with strict measures. This politics of power, the politics of class, money, and influence won't help us with dividends of governance. Beyond the politics, the abduction of people in a church in Ekiti State is worrisome. Kidnappers are crisscrossing Ondo, Oshun, and now Ekiti. The Southwest governors plot a way forward to make the Amotekun stronger equipment wise, since the police is not helping. What is still holding the state police and the president, including the new Inspector General